We all know that feeling. Our wish lists look like this and all our backlogs are getting bigger every day. And I need to make it even worse because here are 16 upcoming indie games you probably haven't heard of and that deserve a spot on that list. What indie games are you looking forward to? Let us all know in the recommendations in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the games in this video. Okay, first up we have Edge of Memories, an absolutely gorgeous looking JRPG by the devs of Edge of Eternity. This one has some seriously stylish looking action combat that focuses on doing combos and using flashy skills. Taking advantage of your party members is definitely key to making the most damage, and going in Berserk mode offers an opportunity to see some big damage numbers. Exploration plays a big role too, as areas change depending on your story progression, which makes finding treasure even more exciting. Oh, and the soundtrack will feature the beautiful voice of Amy Evans, who we all know from Nier Automata. So if an epic anime JRPG is what you're looking for, Edge of Memories should get a spot on your wishlist. Nitro Gen Omega is a turn-based tactical RPG in which you fight your battles in a giant and powerful mech. We get to recruit a bunch of unique characters, assemble our crew, and everyone is assigned a specific role in combat. That means planning and putting together a team is part of the strategic fun. The mechs can be equipped and modified with different body parts and weapons, which is perfect for everyone who likes customization as much as I do. And there's so much more, like different mech models, unique skills to unlock, an airship that's all base, cooking, social aspects, and this cute little subscribe button that is happy to be hit if you like videos like these. If all that sounds and looks great to you, then add Nitro Gen Omega to your wishlist. Did the Oblivion remaster reignite your love for Western first-person open-world RPGs? Then I got good news because Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is about to leave early access soon, and this one is definitely one of the most interesting games in the subgenre. That's because it's a refreshingly dark take on the Arthurian legend, and from what I've played so far, I can confidently say that the presentation is really intriguing, the world itself beautifully designed, and the story pretty interesting. Of course, player freedom is the bread and butter here, so we'll be able to mix and match skills we want to create our very own hero. And there's so much more this game has in store for us, like cooking, fishing, housing, forging, 3 unique large areas, light survival element, and over 200 side quests that will force us to make ethically questionable decisions. Sounds great, right? Then go add this to your wishlist. Recur is a mind-bending and gorgeous platformer in which your task is nothing less than to stop the apocalypse. Luckily, our protagonist has the power to manipulate time, which lets him rewind and fast forward it. So getting from point A to B is a matter of observing the environment, doing a rewind, getting on a platform, jumping, and so on. I mean, you get the idea if you look at the gameplay in the trailer. So I guess ultimately this is more of a puzzle platformer, and I hope the many puzzles get super difficult, because there's nothing more satisfying than solving puzzles, right? So if these kinds of games are up your alley, keep an eye on Recur. This one could be something really special. Mycopunk is a co-op shooter that looks like Borderlands and Sable had a child. In this mission-based shooter, it's our task to uncover the mysteries behind an aggressive fungal infection. But realistically, it's all about shooting stuff. For that, we get countless weapons to choose from, all of which we can customize to our heart's content. So getting an absolutely crazy weapon of your dreams that shoots lasers and saw blades and lightnings or whatever is totally possible. The real fun starts when we combine weapons and skills with that of our friends to create synergies and wipe out hordes of enemies in no time. I mean, that's it, pretty straightforward, but super cool and fun looking game. Check out the demo on Steam if you want to know more. Covenant is a first-person dark fantasy combat game in which we play as a messenger sent from above. The clear focus is the thrilling combat, either close up with several melee weapons or a variety of ranged weapons like guns, crossbows and more. A bunch of movement abilities like sliding around corners, jumping off walls and dodge rolls all promise to make this a pretty dynamic first-person game. I definitely think the combat looks really intense and fun. The whole game can be played alone, in co-op or even PvP. And again, there's so much more like spells, upgrading weapons, build crafting and exploration inspired by Dark Souls and more. If that sounds good to you, then you know what to do. Now, many games are inspired by something, and we already got millions of games inspired by Dark Souls, Hollow Knight or whatever. Ikuma the Frozen Compass is inspired by It Takes Two, so that's pretty unique. Just like in its inspiration, we can play with a friend in couch co-op, jump around and solve puzzles together. What's unique though is that there's a bit of a resource management, since the temperature in this world is pretty deadly, and you can actually play this one alone if you want, by changing the character on the go. I think that sounds awesome, and I'm absolutely ready to play another game of that sort. Fatal Claw is an atmospheric 2D Metroidvania inspired by some of the genre's most beloved games. And just like these beloved games, Fatal Claw comes with some familiar mechanics, like a charm system similar to the one in Hollow Knight, absorbing enemy skills similar to Grime, and an art style we sure all saw a bunch of times. So yeah, maybe that seems generic at first, but the environments look really good. The platforming seems precise and tight, with fluid movement, and the bosses we've seen in the trailer so far look promising. So overall, the vibe of Fatal Claw piqued my interest, so I didn't want to miss the chance to show this on this channel. Keep an eye on this if you're a big fan of Metroidvanias. If you ask me, there are a little bit too many Pokemon clones there, but occasionally they look so good that I'll have to talk about them. Bagdex is one of those cases, and of course this comes with a couple of cool ideas, like choosing the village we start our journey in, and elaborate base building with our own trainer center, farming elements, and more. So this is far more than a creature collection RPG, it's a genre mix. There are over 160 so-called Bagmons, a lot of transformation, and 20 different elemental classes. So all the stuff we're used to, and then make sure that the combat system requires strategy. I definitely keep an eye on it, I think this could be something really cool. This co-op action RPG is called Cloudheim, and it combines a couple of familiar mechanics to a cool genre mix. Combat is based on combos and a destroyable environment that allows us to deal more damage if we use physics, like for example, falling pillars or combining elements. Combat looks super dynamic and fun, and it seems like it's all about finding synergies with your friends to defeat enemies quickly. There's innovative crafting, a flying turtle that functions as our base, and even base building elements. So yeah, this just seems like a cool genre mix that I can't wait to dive into. This is playable solo, but it would be nice to find some friends before the release. Speaking of cool genre mixes, Starrupture is one of the most interesting ones I've seen in a long time. It combines strategy and base building elements with first-person shooting and open-world exploration. Obviously, base building is for gathering resources and unlocking new technologies, all of which we can use to fight hordes of enemies, either solo or in co-op. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know so far about Starrupture, but that's enough to make me interested in it. If shooting loads of aliens and building huge bases with multiple buildings is your jam, check out the early access later this year. Prelude Dark Pain is a dark fantasy tactical turn-based RPG. With over 20 playable characters, with 25 skills each, 8 classes and 3 roles, there's a lot of customization going on. And as if this would be the theme of today's video, we can manage our base, craft new gear, as well as send heroes to different raids to find resources. Combat itself looks absolutely classic in the best way possible, and the beautiful hand-drawn art style reminds me of Darkest Dungeon. There aren't a lot of tactical RPGs coming out, so if you like these kinds of games, then go add Prelude Dark Pain to your wishlist. Water Me and You is a cozy co-op adventure for 2 players, and to me it looks like It Takes Two and Biped had a child. Just like its obvious inspirations, this game is about working together, solving puzzles, overcoming platforming challenges, and most importantly, communicating to be successful with all of this. The twist is that our characters are able to shapeshift, which could make for some pretty cool puzzles. Personally, I'm a sucker for these kinds of games, so I'm definitely excited for Water, Me and You. Tomo Endless Blue is a monster taming ARPG, and while this is mostly about catching monsters, there are a couple of things going on to shake things up. For starters, the world is designed with a combination of handcrafted and procedurally generated areas. That even includes characters, quests and dialogue, which quite frankly sounds a bit scary, but I'm open to ideas like that, and I like the idea of having a completely different adventure as others. These so-called voxels are blocks that can be used to create vehicles and other contraptions, like cranes, boats or even airships. And once again, there is base building and crafting, which is a complete coincidence today, I swear. If all of this sounds interesting to you, you know what to do. Tanuki Pawn Summer is probably the cutest game you've seen in a long time. We play as Pawn, a kind-hearted but lazy tanuki who works part-time at the postal service. So this game is all about delivering packages, but unlike Sam from Death Stranding, you're actually supposed to make friends. Also unlike Sam, we get a cool BMX bike to deliver stuff while grinding on pipes, jumping and even doing some tricks. There are multiple other activities like fishing, baseball, cooking and more. And believe it or not, but this one has base building as well. Anyway, Tanuki Pond Summer looks absolutely cozy and cute, and exactly like the relaxing game I'm looking for. Mina The Hollower is the new game by the devs of Shovel Knight, and this one is an action-adventure inspired by the Legend of Zelda game on the Game Boy. But of course this one is modern. We get to leap, dodge and burrow through the ground to battle monsters or navigate the world. There are multiple weapons, each with a totally different moveset, and I think we can be pretty sure to get some cool dungeons with unique boss fights and a bunch of tools that help us traverse the world. I think there aren't enough good Zelda-likes, and considering that the dev team put out one of the most popular indie games ever, I'm pretty sure that Mina The Hollower will be something special. Alright, that's the list. 16 awesome upcoming indie games. What indie game are you most looking forward to? Let us all know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Alright, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.